What about programmatic do waterfalling to enable the most revenue for the media owner? So he's saying, i.e. from a collective number of exchanges, and he's given examples of Reach, Vistar, Place Exchange. Is this the future?
Yeah.
And is it being developed?
So yeah, this is a really hot topic actually within the space right now. Ultimately, yeah, I have no reason to think that we won't follow in the steps of our online brethren and see the importance of a solid waterfall to bid different channels against each other. To do that, we saw in the online world, you need a pretty consolidated tech stack and some dedicated technology to make it happen. Right now, candidly, I think it's still, I don't want to say a fiction, but let's say irrelevant. When that becomes important is when your fill rate hits 100% and you have to worry about managing your yield because you only have a limited number of impressions to sell. Most media owners that we deal with, they have fill rates, kissing 100% or at 100% at certain times of the year, but not others. So by and large, this is not, I'd say, a massive practical concern for most mediators on the, an average day of the year. But it is certainly an issue that that is real and is going to get more and more important over time.
Okay, so and that's
Adam, could you end up with a scenario where if you're a small media owner, you think, right, I'm going to put my inventory online with a selection of SSPs, play the field. Would there be a scenario where from the buy side, you'd end up bidding against yourself just for that same placement with the media owner? Yeah,
I mean, that's a really good point, Tim, and that's a possibility. There's two dangers there. One is that you bid against yourself in two different SSPs for the exact same ad play, and you end up, bidding the price up, thinking that there's lots of other people in the auction, and it's actually just you. The other risk is that when you're planning out a campaign, your pacing algorithms at a DSP think that there's tons of inventory because they see, I've got 600 ad plays in this region, but it's actually only 300 multiplied by 2 or 200 multiplied by 3 because the media owner is on multiple SSPs. There will be ways to address that. You can see it in the digital world. They have ways to dedupe via the unique user identifier, so the UUID or ad ID of the mobile phone, or historically using the cookie list. You can see, okay, this actually is the same user twice. It's a little harder in out of home. We'll have to look at what standards we can bring to bear to make sure that this ad play is known that it's one ad play, not 3 different ad plays. And that sort of goes back to the whole beginning of our conversation around cooperation between parties and standards. And it's not something where we can just borrow the standard from online because we don't have ad IDs. We don't have cookie lists. And so we'll have to figure out what that's going to look like.